This is a video response to the Armory Channel's Children and Guns. This is part 1. It's funny that you mentioned kids are kind of dumb when it comes to guns, especially. I could tell you a couple stories. Well, one in particular when I was young. Not so much when I was 13, but probably when I was about 16, getting in about 18. Well, when I was 13, we really didn't have any, pistols. Well, take it back. We did have one pistol. It was a Colt 38 Special, the police special, but my dad didn't have any ammo for it. Trust me, I looked. Anyway, when I was 16, me and my buddy, we got kind of bored over his house. We were out hunting or shooting the guns around. And it was nighttime. We're like, oh man, we could do something. My buddy lives out in the country, so we're like, man, let's go shoot some road signs. We're like, okay, cool. So I had my car. It was a 1990 Buick Century, and we're like, oh man, at first we gotta go get a case of beer. So at 16, my buddy, he could grow like a full beard, and he never got carded. So we got a case of beer, about 3 or 4 loaded guns in the car, and we go around the back roads, backcountry roads, blasting the shit out of road signs, you know. I had my H&R single shot 20 gauge. I still have that gun. Had my Ruger Mark II. He had his Mossberg pump action 20 gauge. Can't remember the model of it. Anyway, so we just go on blasting road signs, and some of those signs to this day still have the holes in them, little 22 caliber holes. But once you blast with the shotgun, they replaced all them. Then, about 18, maybe when I was 19, I got my other car. It was a 92 Pontiac Firebird, had the T-tops. So, what we do, we go around, we go shooting road signs, but after I got the car, I'm like, hey man, I call him up, I'm like, got me a new car. He's like, oh cool. He's like, I'm like, wanna go shoot some road signs? He's like, oh, okay. So, I drive over there. And what we did, we took the T-tops off, and one of us would sit on the, on the headrest, or act like we were like a 50 caliber machine cutter at the top of like a Humvee, so we could drive around shooting road signs. Then we're like, oh man, 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 road signs are getting kind of boring. So we could find like raccoons or like possums and shit, like walking around. We drive up, bam, we'll blast them and shit. But there was this one time, and of course, we had beer in the car, a lot of beer. So, come up on this, farmhouse. It was sitting way back, and there was this, big raccoon in their front yard. And my buddy, he's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot it. Alright. So I shot that thing, overshot it by about 3, 4 feet. And after we shot, big cloud of dust, and then we hear a bunch, sounded like hail hitting the house with all the BBs and the dirt and all the shit that he kicked up was all hitting the house, and we hauled ass out of there. And I'm like, man, you overshot the raccoon. It's no, I didn't. And I'm like, dude, man, you see the big cloud of dust? You kicked up 3 feet behind that raccoon. So we head on home after that. We get the cops called on us, but you know, there was only a few dumb things that we did with guns. I might share another story in another video. But if you think your children are responsible with guns, they're not. You don't know what they're doing behind your back. Now, of course, my dad knows all this now that I'm 28. I told him. He's like, oh man, you dumbass, and you know how dads could be. So, lock up the guns. Don't let them use them without your permission. And, well, you could be the judge of that, but for the most part, I was pretty responsible. Except, you know how young men are, never think of consequences. Now I think about it, I'm like, man, I'd probably still be in jail. Just imagine if one of those, bullets or them shotgun slugs missed the target because we were fucking hammered and hit some house or whatever. But nobody got hurt. And and luckily that like we're alive, and it wasn't just firearms. We do dumb shit with fireworks too, but that's another story. But yeah, by about 21, when your children might be responsible with guns, but when they're 21, they're adults, probably do what they want. So I just wanted to share that little story with you. I thought it was kind of funny that you said young kids, especially young men, young boys, are kind of brain dead, if you know what I mean. So yeah, me and my buddy, we still talk about that, and still to this day, like talk about how stupid we were when we were younger. So I just wanted to give you that story, and this is Brandon. That's the way it happens.